please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Welcome back. The pre-opening rates should be here anytime. The SGX Nifty is indicating that we will have a flat start. About 9 points in the green is what the SGX Nifty is indicating. And of course, we'll have the first rates flashing on the screen in a bit. The currency market has opened absolutely flat. Absolutely no move on that. Not even 1 paisa. So even the Nifty and the Sensex, of course, the first few rates will be bizarre. I would just want to say Dalmia Bharat once. Of course, it may not happen in pre-open. It may take some time. That would be an interesting stock to watch out for. But on the Nifty and the Sensex, things are still all over the place. So maybe let's wait for a bit for things to stabilize.
The Dilip Buildcon order could have a positive rub-off on some of the capital goods construction contractor stocks.
Yes.
I mean, it's today, after all, we're only going to play for sentiment, and now the Nifty is up about 0.5%. It's taken the 10,495. Technically setting a new high, but let's wait and see. This is pre-open. This is not done deal.
Manappuram is the other stock which is a bit in the green after yesterday. Reliance Infra. Now keep in mind, yesterday's news was not fresh news. It was just a closure of the deal that they had with Adani. But the market was in a frame of mind where it wants to reward everything right now. So that stock still gaining ground. SP Tulsian of sptulsian.com is with us now. Mr. Tulsian, good morning. Vinyl Chemicals looks interesting stock idea.
That's right, Anjul. In fact, this is a company, which is the promoter, which is in fact Pidilite Industries is the promoter of this company, and of 50% of the promoter's stake, the Pidilite is directly holding about 41% stake in the company. And let me just quickly give the background that vinyl chemical earlier was making vinyl acetate monomer, which is called as VAM in the abbreviated word, which is used for sealant, adhesive and all that. With their plant at Mahad, maybe about 3 years back, they sold this plant to Pidilite Industries because the entire production was getting sold to Pidilite Industries. And then thereafter, promoter, because Pidilite is a big consumer of VAM, vinyl acetate monomer, as their raw material. So promoter of Pidilite probably have thought that let's keep this company as a trading company. And now the business model of this company is purely a trading company. They import the vinyl acetate monomer and get the supply. About 90% of their total income is derived from sales to Pidilite Industries. So one may argue that this is purely a trading company, there is nothing in it, why should we give this kind of multiple? Those arguments may remain valid, but if you really take the situation, you never know that when these type of companies can get revived. If the plant can get sold to the parent company, you can always see the new business ideas also getting generated in this company, because the financials seem to be very much in place. For FY17, company had posted an EPS of closer to about 5 rupees for H1 FY18. Again, the things are seen on an improvement, because everything is ultimately linked to the import cost and all that, and at what price they supply to Pidilite Industries. So financials is going to remain flattish kind of things, with an EPS of about 5 rupees for FY18 also, which was at 4 rupees 50 paise for FY17, because Q2 has shown the better number than what we have seen for Q1. But coming on the financials, the equity is very small at 1.83 crore with face value of 1 rupee. That means sub 2 crore equity with net worth of about 50 crore. And as I said, that promoters are holding 50%, of which Pidilite is holding 41% of this entire net worth of 48 crore. The entire amount of about 50 to 51 crores are invested into the investments, on which the company is regularly having some kind of income, maybe of about 4 to 5 crores, which is seen as their treasury income. So that is in fact largely constitutes the company. So just a kind of pedigree and hopes of the revival of the new projects coming into this company, maybe at a future date. All these things makes the stock a good buy at about 103 with a target of about 124 in next 6 months or so.
Okay, Mr. Tulsian, thank you very much for joining us with that long-term bet. We'll of course touch base with you later on in the day. Just
wanted to point out, Bitcoin is down 20%, and some of the other cryptocurrencies are down anywhere between 10 to 40%. So that's a big move, a bit of a shakeout taking place right now.
I guess everyone wants to use some money, take profit and have a holiday.
Exactly.
So not sure how long the good going will last. In fact, I spoke to both Geeta Gopinath and Maurice Obstfeld, the chief economist from IMF, on Bitcoin as a future currency. Will it challenge dollar? Will it challenge gold? Most of them thought that, I mean, both of them thought that it is as good as horse racing, and all the big central banks will tolerate it as long as it is treated as gambling. The moment it starts seeing leveraged money going in, maybe people will clamp down. But that's an interesting area to watch out for 2018. One of the big themes of 2018 could well be cryptocurrencies. Okay, we are at new highs as far as very close to new highs as far as the Nifty is concerned. It's starting with a 20-point gain, or so it looks, if, when we look at the pre-opening rates. But let's wait and see. Has Dalmia Bharat?
Yeah, just one more stock that I wanted to point out. I think we made this point in closing bell as well yesterday. Out of this whole 2G verdict, I think there's one company which really stands out is DB Realty, because that's the one where you have clearly good business as well. We all live in Mumbai. We see their projects. So that's the one which was locked on circuit yesterday, and looks like even today another circuit is in the offing, Lata. And again, it's a stock which is of course corrected quite a bit. No, the chart was right. I don't know why we took it out. It is up 20%.
It is flat.
Nothing wrong with that.
It looked so unusual that our producer thought that she's probably showing the wrong chart. But yeah, that's what DB Realty is. 2 days of 20%, and it could go on. Because clearly, unlike Unitech, which has other problems on its plate, this one had only this 2G issue. And at least still an appeal is preferred by the investigative agencies, and it takes its own course. At the moment, you will have to say that the relief rally will continue. But as we wind down on 2017, we have been inviting the big performers of 2017. Let us invite Jitendra Mamtora, the chairman of Transformers and Rectifiers. That stock has, of course, had a great 2017. Mr. Mamtora, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. Can you give us some idea of the overall ordering position? Power Grid is believed to have given a lot of orders. What's your order book looking like?
As on today, the total order book is 900 crores plus. And there are some more orders which are coming, not directly from PGCIL, but from the EPC contractors who have quoted with our prices and where they are L1. So we are expecting another 80 to 100 crore order before the end of January.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Mamtora. But your margins are quite low. So in a sense, while the top line is quite okay, the numbers don't really get translated into the bottom line. Could that issue be resolved going forward?
Yeah. See, the main issue is if you look at the EBITDA of 10% around, that should be okay with this kind of top line, which in fact, EBITDA margins are also going to grow up in the next financial year, or in the third and fourth quarter also. What we are trying to do is, see, there are two types of businesses. One is the utility businesses where there is a competition, and then there is an export market where the margins are good, not much of a competition. And the third business is the industry business, where we are getting stronger and stronger day by day. With the steel industries doing better, there is a sudden spurt in the demand for the transformers for the steel industries, not only in India, overseas also. We recently concluded one order from Russia for supplying arc furnace transformer, which is going to be a big breakthrough for us in the Russian market. So with that, we are trying to balance out the EBITDA margins. On one side, we have the utility business where there is a competition, and then other is the export market where we are concentrating, and the industrial market, industrial transformer business, that is also picking up.
What is the percentage of exports, Mr. Mamtora?
This year, it is going to be around 11 to 12%, as against 8% last year. So
11% of what? Is it revenue? Is it
top line? Top line.
Okay.
Total revenue.
Okay. I'll tell you what is worrying. For both quarters, I mean, for the first half, your revenues fell. So you know, what will you, is the second half likely to be better?
Second half is going to be definitely better than the first half. Third and the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter is going to be exceptionally good because there are export orders which we are going to execute in the fourth quarter, including the order from Russia. And also, there are some industrial transformer business which has come, which is to be supplied in this financial year with the good margins. Okay. So that also is going to boost the revenue, not only the revenue, the EBITDA margins overall.
Net of excise, you all did what, 800 crore last year? How much will you do in this year?
Last year we did not 800 crores. In fact, if you excluding excise, it was something like 710 crores or something like that. This year will be crossing 800 crores.
Okay. And margins-wise, how much you think?
Margin-wise will be, if not more, anywhere between 10 and 11.
Okay. What about FY19? Is there any visibility in terms of the order book that you already have or are likely to get?
See, all these orders which we have received and which are to be, most of the order is to be executed in the next financial year. They are with fairly better margins than last year's.
Okay, Mr. Mamtora, thanks a lot for your time today. That's transformers and rectifiers. But
stock has moved vertically. I mean, we should pull up that stock. What kind of a performance that is? See, actually, Sudarshan, you look at the stock, do you?
I'm sorry, I
transformers and rectifiers.
Yeah, I told you earlier, Lata, that the rally has been so sharp that you really need to wait for a consolidation before entering.
Okay. Prakash, you wanted to make a point on that.
Yeah, transformer has seen a good up move, good base formation, so I don't think it's going down. 35 is a strong support zone to work with. Maybe you can see around 47 to 50 zone, may take its own sweet time for that.
Okay, tell you something, the commodity markets are still doing fine. Manisha Gupta joins us with a roundup of all the action. Manisha, good morning.
Morning, Anuj, and thank you for that. Well, yes, with the US dollar headed for a weekly decline, we have seen most of the commodities actually headed for a weekly gain here. Talking about the US dollar, it actually is putting in the worst performer in last decade or so, down by nearly 6% in 2017. So that really has been supportive for commodities. If you look at the crude oil prices, well, at 64.70, even with a 0.25% of a decline, we are trading at a 2-week highs, and it's not too far away from its 2.5-year highs as well. Even as markets are looking at the North Sea pipeline getting corrected, there are statements that you will see that back in action by first week of Jan 2018. It is about the supply cuts continuing from OPEC and allies. The US weekly inventories continuing to decline, which has been supportive for the crude oil prices. And you have bullish cues coming in for 2018 as well. It's a similar story for the metal space, where you have the copper prices trading at a 2-month highs. You have seen prices actually trade very close to the 4-year highs that they hit in 2017 itself. If you look at the metal index, that is up by nearly 24% in this year. So everything in metals actually has been on the positive. If you widen that and include the precious metals, then palladium, of course, is gained up by 51% in this year. If you continue to widen it further, then if you look at the minor metals, of course, the cobalt prices are up by 120% as well. So the new themes that have been playing in sense of pollution crackdown, EV story, etc., all of those raw materials continue to perform well in Asian markets today as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Manisha, for that. Let's see if it has a positive impact on some of the metal stocks. At this point in time, what are we doing? Actually, it's the IT stocks that are doing well, largely because of the Accenture effect. But then you have got Cipla, Eicher Motors. Okay, Vedanta is one stock that's doing well from the metal pack. Let's wait and see how things pan out when the markets start trading. Mitesh, at the moment, is there anything else that's coming into your radar after looking at the pre-opening? Mitesh, we can't hear you.
Yeah. I said I would focus on some of the pharma names, and Dalmia Bharat, of course, will be on the radar today. Wockhardt, Cipla, I think are, and all these stocks are showing some kind of trading bounces. So I think these are the stocks which I'll start focusing with start my day focusing upon.
Okay, specifically Wockhardt. Prakash, you want to take a look at, I mean, that chart had, the stock had a very good day yesterday.
Yeah, basically it's seen on a higher time frame basis, it's seen a good breakout around 790 zones. I think it's heading to 1050, may take its own sweet time for that, but looks like 1050 is on the cards on Wockhardt.
Okay, 1050 is on the card for Wokhart. It was out of F&O ban, but re-entered that ban yesterday after that big move that happened. PVR is the other interesting stock to keep an eye on. I think Tiger Zinda had released today, I think.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah, expected to smash all records. Mitesh, thoughts on PVR?
On a very interesting chart, the stock on multiple occasions failed to sustain above 1440, 1450 zones. I think it's on the verge of breaking out. If we get a breakout above 1450, I think it can easily head towards 1550, 1600. So very, very positive over here. Maybe today, sometime during the day, we will have a long position or long call over there.
Okay. There goes the bell. It's a green start at least for the Christmas weekend. 10 points higher on the Sensex, on the Nifty. Now about 11 points, and the Sensex up about, started out with even a 50 I saw for a bit. Now it's 37 points higher on the Sensex. That's 0.1% for both indices actually. Mid-caps again outperforming from the word go with a third of a percent in terms of gains. Nifty Bank is subdued, as good as the index or as bad as the index. What are the stocks that are gaining this morning? IT stocks, TCS, extension of the Nielsen order has had a positive impact. The pharma stocks are continuing with their good work. Aurobindo Pharma is up 0.9%. Vedanta, Adani Ports, GAIL, Eicher Motors, ONGC, HDFC Bank, all up between 0.5% and 0.8%. So those are the leaders of the rally today. UPL continues with its rally ever since that the Gujarat results were known and the expected rural focus. That stock has not looked back at all. What's not helping the markets too much? BPCL still perhaps seeing profit taking on crude prices. Bajaj Auto, Bharti Infratel, HCL. HCL Tech is not participating in the IT positive sentiment after Accenture. Ultratech Cement, Power Grid, ICICI Bank. Okay, those are that is the bank that is pulling down the bank Nifty as well. But it's not a big loss. All of them are down about 0.25%. In fact, you know, there is no stock which is up 1% and no stock which is down 1%. Everything is so ranged in the Nifty.
Oh, yes, it is. And, you know, if you see the mid-cap market, clearly the market is piling on to ADAG even today. Could be, you know, a bit dangerous because yesterday also these stocks were up, but Reliance Infra is your top gainer in the F&O space, up almost 3%. NHPC is the other stock where we have seen a bit of a gain, 2.5% higher. PVR is up about 2%. Reliance Naval, all these stocks looking up. Britannia is a stock which, of course, there is the Motilal Oswal upgrade or, you know, upping of price target. That stock has done well. DB Realty, of course, is locked on circuit. AB Money is interesting. That stock is up 10.5% at this point in time. Then, of course, you have a couple of penny stocks like Ruchi Soya, IVRCL rallying. Even Religare is up a bit. But it's turning out to be a decent day once again for the mid caps. Clearly, a day of high beta. So